Guys, what is up? It is your boy Political Talk, and I'm gonna be explaining how whites should not pay for pay Indians back for multiple reasons, and I especially ain't gonna do it because most of my blood is German, the second most is Irish, and the third most would be Indian, which means the Spanish conquered the Indians, and then Britain came over here and conquered everyone that happened to be here. Britain came here, I think they were like the third people to come over here. No, I think Dutch could have been second. I don't remember. But, um, so the reason we shouldn't repay Indians, because if we were, Indians would have to repay each other. The reason for this is because there was hundreds and hundreds, I bet even thousands of Indian tribes. Um, and you know that most of them would fight. There were some allies. I can't remember if the Aztecs and Incas were allies at one point. Um, the Aztecs and Incas are really the what most people know about, because they were like the top two. But anyway, so one Indian tribe would battle another Indian tribe, and the winning tribe, which conquered the losing tribe, would have their land. That's how it worked. Now, when the Spanish came here and did the same thing to the Indians, what they were doing were they were conquering them. It's not stealing, because the Indians don't own the land. As a matter of fact, the Indians didn't believe anyone owned the land, which means they didn't even believe they owned the land. Okay? But the Incas were an excellent example of what I've said. The Incas, if they conquered a tribe, the surviving few, they would say, or the surviving people, I don't know how many would be there. I assume they would just pretty much kill some of them to let them know they weren't a joke. And then they would tell them, you have one of two options. You can either join the Incas or you can die. Most people would generally choose to become the Incas. Now, each tribe had a different ideology. They all had sort of different religions, but they were all sort of the same. Just very, very few differences, but so the Incas were forcing people to believe in their ideology, and when they would conquer someone, that the person they conquered, when they became an Inca tribe, the Incas would own it. And I think it took 20 years for the Spanish to eventually take out all the Inca tribes. That's how much land they conquered. So now, taking this, should Indians pay each other back? Because there's a lot of conquering, I sounded really retarded. There's a lot of Indian tribes conquering each other. Again, the Incas were a good example of this. So when the Spanish came over here and conquered the Indians, and then Dutch came here and went up to Canada. The Dutch were actually allies with the Indians. They traded and stuff. See, because the Dutch saw value in the Indians. The Indians were very good at hunting, you know, and they knew the land very well. So they were definitely good trading partners, and they saw that. The English, normally what they would do, they would put the Indians in prisons. This is gonna sound harsh. And then back then, England people were Catholic. I'd say about all of them were Catholic, and then they would force the Indians to believe in the Catholic religion. Now, you may say that's terrible, but the Indians did the same thing. Again, the Incas forced the other Indian tribes that may have had a different ideology than them to believe in what they believed in. So pretty much the Indians did exactly what the English did and the Spanish did. So next time you say that whites need to pay back Indians, you better really think about it. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.